Well, for me, really the feet out was the thing.
It can be, if people are ready for it, it can be very effective to kind of really compel you to change, which is kind of the whole point of the drills. So I think I mentioned to you about it on Wednesday. So we're getting to a point, hopefully, as we are covering these different drills that as we practice them and get more comfortable with them, assuming we're practicing, then we can start to sort of mix and match and combine. So there is as we get further into this, there's a possibility of doing drills to the point where it just becomes a little too automatic. Like we just don't really pay attention to it. We're just kind of going through the motions, and if it gets boring, if you could ever describe rowing as boring, if you need to kind of keep your mind engaged and paying attention, you can swap and change and modify and add to. So it's possible that you can do feet out, sort of mostly square blade or square blade wide grip, or there's lots of different ways. You could do pick drill with feet out. I mean, there's different ways to kind of mix it up. And so the biggest thing is to try and hopefully find places where you're maybe aware that you're not quite proficient or it doesn't feel very comfortable. It's like that's the space to hang out. And assuming that you have an understanding of the stuff we've been talking about in terms of the mechanics, then you can apply that understanding, that logical reasoning to what's going on to figure out how to make it better. So if you're just uncomfortable, maybe because your oarlocks are backwards, this is not a good thing. But if you're uncomfortable because you're working on the edge of your stability, then we could play around with this, and hopefully then when you go back to normal rowing, it feels like a piece of cake, assuming that you're also applying the things that you're learning to normal rowing. And so particularly when you're switching from whatever drill you decide to do every day you go out, one drill at least. I wouldn't really count pick drill unless you're in a hurry. Pick drill and then something. Pick drill is a good way to warm up, but you can technically get through it in 60 strokes. So it's not that much. I mean, say when we're doing drills, I would like to see, if you're going out, that you give at least the first, here in the lagoon, the first pass down and then maybe back with something focusing on technical, and then in the process of that also, as you work through your drill, maybe in the middle 1,000 down there and the turnaround, then you can get in some sort of warm-up portion of higher rate, 10s or 20s at, we're getting ready to race something like that, so that by the time you finish your 1,500 or maybe 2,000, heart rate's going, blood's pumping, a little bit of sweat's coming in, so you're ready to actually do whatever your workout is. So anyway, so doing that, and as you switch from your whatever drill you've been doing to normal rowing, you have this little golden moment of opportunity when, as you go to normal rowing, you can apply proprioceptively what you've been very aware of with the drill. And so we want to really take advantage of that to bring that shift that you've been forcing your mind and your body and everything else to do into normal rowing, rather than just flipping back over to old habits. We're trying to break old habits that don't work. And the drills are a means to do that. Questions about that?
Yeah, my statement is that since we've been working this summer, I've learned to kind of embrace the discomfort that's out there.
So
enjoy that. I used to shy away from it.
Right. It's very common. Once we get kind of moving, and I think I kind of know, oars go in the water up there somewhere, and I take them out here, and I go relatively straight. I know how to row. So it's a very seductive place to kind of get into, and then we're technically moving, but in the purest sense, I wouldn't really call it rowing. I mean, not in terms of what your potential is. I mean, not to be a snob, it just seems like there's a lot more that even people, who are mature in age can do, because it's a fairly non-high impact activity. So if you're really interested in exploring it, you can get some very nice experiences in addition to a really good workout out on the water, which are things that we frequently are not able to experience through our just what we describe as mundane, normal daily life. There's this, it's an opportunity. I mean, you're with water, and it's here. It's not totally nature, but for most places where people row, I mean, there's this separation from our normal daily experience. I'm a little biased towards rowing, but I think there are some unique aspects about the sport or activity of rowing that give you an opportunity to shift out of your normal frame of reference and experience things in a different way. And then the process also, hey, you get some exercise. This is a nice win-win. Which this is my underlying belief is why, folks like you guys keep coming out. There's something that you innately like about it. Is why you could be sleeping or walking the dogs at this time of morning, but you're here kind of sitting around, wondering if it's going to rain or not, and still go out for a row. So, rowers aren't crazy. They just, are just a little different than the average population. So, any other little questions or refinements here we're looking for in terms of things we've talked about? No? Quiet bunch today? Alright, so what I'd like to do, see if we can, since we don't seem to have as much traffic on the water this morning as last, what I'd like you guys to do is sometime through the course of your laps when I'm sitting out there, I'd like you to kind of just pull me aside, or you pull over to me, and let's just, show me whatever it is you think you're really getting proficient at with the drill work. I want to see it. And in there, I see if there's any little modifications that are beneficial to look at. Okay, so get a little feedback, and then we can apply it, and then go from there. Is that right?
Okay.
Okay, let's head out.